At my local in the suburbs there's these mobs of geriatrics coming out now every Saturday from 4 to 5, like clockwork, and they have signs that are often this big, like just a piece of cardboard,
little postcard,
or at an 8.5 by 11 that they've glued onto a piece of cardboard, and I swear to God, no one is under 65, and they're sitting on their walkers. And they say they want you to honk. So people are honk, honk, honk as they go by. And I thought it's so easy to sabotage. You go in there with a sign that says, Trump is a and you're like with them like this. Or
wow, their heads would explode.
Trump is worse. Or Trump probably steals more than most black people. Or
right.
Honk if you're gay.
Then they're like, they wouldn't know what to do. It's
Trump plus
paradox.
Trump plus Elon equals and then you're next to them like, hey, and they're going to be like, yeah, that's not really what we're going for.
What? We hate Trump, right?
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's worse than a.
Worse than a, right?
And then but then you're like, should I bother like teasing seniors? I don't know. It might make for funny content.
I really didn't see that coming with the boomers being like what they are and stuff.
I think they're under the impression he's killing Social Security, and that's a major income for them.
Do your
But
research.
it's not true.
If Social Security is so fucking important to you, go to the library because they don't know how to use computers. Go to the library. Find some microfiche machine and do a little research. Don't listen to the news, but they're so brainwashed by mainstream media. They still believe that. So, you hear Leslie Warren, and they're taking away the Social Security, and they believe that shit. So they go out with their little postcard, and they're making a difference. Finally, they have a purpose in life. Ugh.
And why is it all seniors? I think it's because Soros is smart, and he's like, or Alex Soros goes, all right, this is not a time to strike. We have 1,300 days left. Let's bide our time. Crockett, let's let her run loose. She can just wreck stuff like a raccoon in a garbage can. And as far as protests go, I'm not paying for any of them. So no more young people. The only ones who are there are the seniors who have time to spend.
Seniors.
Look at that.
Oh, God, look at this one.
That's like a witch from a children's novel.
From Timor.
Punk, 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 punk.
They've all been sitting at home watching whatever the old ladies watch, and finally they feel like they have a mission in life. They've been absolutely, utterly useless for decades.
Yeah.
Since their wombs dried up. They've been useless as humans. And now they get this, wait, I'm going to go out and protest something, and there's going to be people with me, and it's a purpose before the box.
What are you doing? Are you raising awareness? The reason they chose this spot is because it's near a massive parking lot. So they can all park there. They don't have to worry about parking and walking too much. And then they sit there for exactly 1 hour. You can set your watch by it. Like it empties out at 5:01.
And they go to the early bird special at the diner.
And then people honk because it's a liberal neighborhood. Of course they're going to honk. I don't get what you've accomplished. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm naive.
Nothing. Yeah, and no one's looking. Even the AOC Bernie rallies that they were doing, the whole audience is exactly that. It's old ladies primarily. Yeah. Then there's the old men that I think the old ladies drag them. Yeah. But they're all revved up too. I'm not going to make it seem like they're I gotta go. No. They're all rah too. And then obviously you get your minorities of varying ages, but not a lot. No, I see a lot of white faces in there, but there's some old black women that they need to put in there, and that's about it. No one that's really going to make a difference at the polls. They're not courting the geriatric vote.
Like go to a thing, a Trump thing, and protest outside of it or something. But like you're working your ass off for hunks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, look at
Look at this stuff.
Fight
Look at this. Part
the
of the top-
oligarchy.
The 1%.
But whatever you may
We
be,
know that
nobody.
the billionaires. There's 902 billionaires in the United States.
I
Out
wanna-
of, 902 out of like 300 and what 50
31 million.
people,
Yep.
31 million people in this country now. I don't know how many tax cuts you could give to 902 people that will really make that big a
Right.
difference when the budget, the money comes in the trillions. But boy, they like making it sound like every single one of those billionaires are Donald Trump's personal friends, and he's just going to dole money out to all of them.
Is it possible that these billionaires are just exceptional people? Like with basketball, there's 100 million men playing basketball every day, playing basketball. A fraction of a third of 1% are in the NBA, and with that 1% of the NBA is making $100 million. All these
Right.
other basketball players, they make nothing at all. If you play college basketball, it's the Fields Medal. Out of all the people doing mathematics, there are maybe one person every year who wins the Fields Medal, and no one else in mathematics gets a dime except for the guy with the Fields Medal. Yeah, that's the way everything works, dude.
Every billionaire is this greedy, inhumane, horrible, built his fortune on the bodies of everyone else below him. And I'm sure there are a few of those, but there are some very philanthropic billionaires that have done amazing things and amazing work. There's billionaires like Elon Musk who are doing amazing things right now. And, it's not like his private bank account says $100 billion. That's all the value of the company. And if you don't continue working and performing miracles with these companies, you're not going to have that money anymore. Everyone wants to think it's, okay, Elon could go around and just give $1 million to everybody because he's got this.
Well, remember when they
money.
literally said that? There was that that black woman who she got the math wrong, and she thought he could take the $40 billion he spent on Twitter and give every American like $1 million or something.
$1 million.
Like yeah.
He could give every American $1 million. Yeah, because if you have $330 million, you could give every American $1 million.
Yeah.
That's what they thought.
Every person in the world gets $1 billion.
Yeah, $1 billion. And he still has 172 billion left. That is some poor math skills.
Wow.
Right there.
And they have this like Hamburglar view of billionaires. Like we went and checked our bank account and we're like, hey, there's $100 gone. And then Bill Gates or whoever, Warren Buffett is like, hee, and he runs out the back door with my 100. Get back here, you billionaire. And they just keep stealing and taking our money until they eventually get billions.
Yeah, it's all stealing. And, Elon and his Trump's billionaire friend, Elon Musk, the guy rockets are taking off from this planet at an unbelievable pace right now. Elon Musk is launching sometimes 2-3 rockets a day. He now accounts for, I think it's 80% of every satellite circling the Earth.
Really?
Is one of Elon's satellites. Only 20% was sent up between 1960s and today by any other organization, NASA or other countries. 80%, and the bulk of that are Starlink satellites that is given the ability for someone literally in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Sahara Desert, nothing. You could watch Netflix if you wanted to in the middle of the desert just because Elon Musk put those satellites up there. If he had to depend on NASA to put those satellites up, there would be probably a dozen of those satellites up there now.
Well, look at
because he has his own space agency, his own rockets, he's been able to do that at a pace that's unthinkable. And he's just that billionaire friend of Donald Trump.
But you don't have to be hypothetical. Isn't that exactly what happened? Didn't Kamala promise us? Well, there was,
Oh, yeah, high-speed internet
Yeah.
was supposed to be given to rural areas of the United States. They gave them billions of dollars, and not one house was wired. Click. I got high-speed internet here in Oklahoma. No. There it is, the broadband flop. What was it? How much money was it? Just got $42 billion. That is completely unaccounted for. No one knows where that is. And not one household was hooked up with high-speed broadband.
it just amazes me that after all these examples, like we had this with Obama with Solyndra, $500 million to solar panels. They go bankrupt overnight. Everyone gets rich who knew about the investment because they invested in solar power. And Nancy Pelosi pocketed millions from that deal. And people are still like, the government's going to do it. Even journalism. Like you talk to boomers and they go, did you know that Trump is saying that women can't vote? And you go, who's saying that? And they go, a journalist. They dedicated their whole lives to this, okay? And you're like, no, not okay. I don't trust them.
Yeah.
It's called
They've done
lying.
nothing but lie. So why would I trust them? You know, I see these boats, they're very small, like skiffs, sailboats that people sail around the world now by themselves. And every day they do a show. They do like a quick internet show and tell people where they are, how they're doing, what they had to do to the boat that day. They're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and they're using Starlink and getting a clear as a bell picture from the middle of the ocean. But he's a piece of friend to Trump, billionaire. Like Elon has changed the world. He has changed every life on this planet just by putting Starlink out there and having that type of communication available no matter where the you are on this planet. And no one talks about it like he should be spoken about like Nikola Tesla and some of the other great innovators and pioneers of the olden days.
Yeah, it goes back to the ingrate. Like with global warming, yes, I will concede that the temperature of the Earth has gone up 1 degree in like 4 generations, whatever it was, since the Industrial Revolution. Okay, sure, you can have that. But back then, when there was a mudslide or an earthquake or a catastrophe, hundreds of thousands of people died. Now we have the technology and the equipment to save people. So we've saved billions of lives with all of these climate catastrophes because we have technological advancements and the infrastructure to save these people. But they don't focus on that. They just go, there's more, and there's probably like 0.0001% more mudslides. Okay. But now we save people from the mudslides, but they don't look at that. They focus on the negative. And like the Queen of England in the 16th century, she woke up, she sat on a freezing cold bedpan made of gold. She's freezing to death. She has to light a fire. Then they have to warm up water for her bath. It takes forever. Her life sucked compared to the poorest person in Indiana who gets up, still has a fridge, still has a phone, still gets to have a hot shower. Yet it's this Trump has ruined everything, doom and gloom, losers.
You know, I won't really take any climate change nonsense seriously until things like Plymouth Rock, which you can go and see, until it's covered.
Right.
Like, wait, there's water. We can't see it anymore because the water level is up. You've seen these satellite photos and aerial photos from years ago, and the coastline is exactly where it was. You know,
90% of Earth, there was no ice. There was no ice in Antarctica and Arctica. That was 90% of Earth. It's a very recent thing, the ice. Past 4 years, we've had unprecedented ice growth. It's spoiled brats who feel bad about themselves and want to complain. The less you accomplish, the more you trivialize other people's accomplishments. And these people haven't accomplished anything, so Teddy Roosevelt can go f himself. Elon Musk is a loser. Low IQ Elon Musk. Jasmine Crockett calls him low IQ Elon Musk. Okay.
What?
All right.